Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. Today we are going to be doing some guerrilla cooking. We're on vacation and don't have much equipment, and we're just going to do like a one-pot cook with simple ingredients. So what we've got is we've got 3 onions, everything's washed and ready to go, a bunch of tomatoes, a pepper. We're going to start sauteing the onions, get everything from the fresh ingredients kind of like nice and softened, and then we are going to dump in a bunch of water and boil it, bring it to a boil, and we're going to add this couscous, buckwheat, and red lentils. This should be a good portion for at least 2 or 3 people, I would say, and with our kids, I'm sure we'll eat the whole thing and maybe have room for dessert. We're going to use a really simple mixed seasoning. It's like a pizza mix, salt to taste, and that's it. No oil. So check it out. Let's get everything chopped up. We're going to start with the onions. So the knife to have here is pretty bad. I was only able to chop up the onions to a pretty large size, but that's fine. Got the heat going under this, and we're going to start working on chopping up the pepper next. Peppers are chopped up, and I've been stirring the onions. And you can see that obviously with no oil, it's starting to stick a little bit. That's fine, they're starting to caramelize. So if you've seen any of my older videos on cooking, I've done the no oil, cooking method before, but if you've missed it, all you do is you basically, just saute the onions like this, and when they start sticking, you have a little bit of water, and you just dump in the water. It's gonna, shoot up steam. But you basically end up just, all that caramelized goodness will just come up from the bottom of the pan. And you're still going to be able to get that nice sweet onion kind of, taste and flavor. And all of it will come up and it won't stick. So I'm going to dump this in there. It'll be a little bit noisy, and then I'll show you how it looks. You can just kind of shake it around sometimes. And you don't even need to use the spoon, basically. And all of it just comes up. See? So you just do this, once or twice, depending on how golden you like your onions, and the water will obviously keep evaporating, and your onions will just keep getting more and more caramelized. So I usually do this like once or twice, and then basically when that's looking pretty good, I'm going to add the peppers. The onions are starting to look pretty nice. I'm going to probably just add a little bit of water in a second, because it'll start to stick again. Meanwhile, I've cut up my onions, and you can see I didn't really chop them too much because this cutting board is huge, actually, so it wouldn't be convenient to pick up the whole thing and kind of move it all there, and I don't want to lose too many of the juices, so I just sliced up the tomatoes over the bowl so I can just dump this in there when I'm ready to go. So yeah, let's get the onions a little bit more brown. We're going to do a little splash of water, and then we are going to add the peppers and start sauteing those. You can see the onions are really nice and caramelized now, and I've added the peppers in, and just going to stir this around a little bit, soften up the peppers. You may have to add another round of water. You just always kind of keep checking. If it starts sticking, just throw a little splash of water in there, and it comes right up. So you can see it. It's totally clear. So yeah, let's keep going. Guys, pro tip: if you're in an apartment and you don't have good cookware, I don't have a lid for this pot. Makeshift, use a plate, put it on the top, keeps the steam inside, and helps you cook everything faster. So just a good thing to try out if you're stuck. The peppers are ready, and I've got a little handful of salt on the tomatoes. Got a bunch of the seasonings, the pizza mix seasonings. We're going to add this all in and mix it up. In case your viewing screen isn't fitted with a smell-o-vision device yet, I can assure you it smells incredible already. So I'm just going to cover this back with the plate, let it go for a couple minutes until the tomatoes and the peppers are nice and soft, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I think it's looking really nice now. It's already kind of starting to stick to the bottom a little bit. The tomatoes are pretty much completely, cooked down. And I'm going to add actually a bunch of water. The package says 1 liter of water for the 2 little, packages here. I'm going to eyeball it, I don't know, maybe add water to about here or so, and then I'm going to add those in, and or actually I'm going to bring it to a boil first, then I'm going to add that stuff in, and I'll show you that next. Okay guys, it's finally boiling, so I'm going to add in the buckwheat and all the other stuff, and we'll mix it all up. Okay, everything's added in, and I'm going to set the plate back on as a lid, but I am going to offset it a little bit by leaving the spoon in between just to make sure it doesn't run over. And I'm going to bring the heat down just a little bit, just so to make sure it doesn't run over. Alright, so I've been stirring it every couple minutes, and you can see that it's starting to thicken up. It's starting to look pretty good. I'm going to keep going until the water's pretty much all gone, and hopefully it should all be cooked up by that point. You can see that the lentils are opening up as well, so it's looking good. I just did a quick taste test, and everything's cooked up really nicely, and it's really thick now. And I'm going to take the lid off because I just want the excess water to boil off. Like I said, I didn't really have anything to measure out the water, and I didn't even really know how much the other veggies and things that I put in there are going to offset it, so it was really just kind of eyeballing it. But I added a little bit more salt, and I'm just going to let this go until the excess water boils off, and it should be ready. I mean, it's good to eat the way it is now, but I just want it to be thicker. Alright guys, so there it is, the finished product. Basically like a rice dish for the most part, but with couscous and buckwheat instead. And came out delicious, really good. Kids seem to like it too, and super easy. So yeah, you really can't beat the simplicity of it and cooking everything in one pot with very limited kind of gear or setup. So yeah, it just goes to show you can still be healthy and eating good whole food plant-based diet when you're on vacation. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Give it a shot. Do some guerrilla vegan cooking of your own, and if you have any tips, feel free to share those below. I'd love to know what other people do to eat healthy when they're on the go or on vacation. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Bye.